Welcome back to another video, guys. In this video we're going to be talking about database reactivation, how we've been implementing this for every single one of our partners and how it's been able to recoup anywhere from 20 to 100k worth of projects, and it's super simple to do. My recommendation is doing this on GoHighLevel. I will be creating a video on the entire walkthrough of that, but if you have a different CRM platform, essentially just plug and play this entire system into that platform and you can't go wrong. Without wasting any more time, let's jump straight into it, guys. I had to essentially split up local businesses into two sort of categories, right? So you have service-based businesses and you also have contractor-based businesses. So for example, when it comes to the service-based businesses, dentists, chiropractors, med spas, estheticians, fitness guys, then the contractors, you've got the solar, roofers, landscaper, etc. You guys get the gist. The reason why I had to segment it will make sense later on, depending on the type of scripts you guys are going to use, the structure. Things are a bit different, hence why I personally recommend for the partners that we work with, hey, use this angle if you're a contractor, use this angle if you're a service-based business. Now, carrying on from that, one of the biggest things that we've seen is if you have a database of, let's say, 250 people, that's usually like the bare minimum that we recommend doing this for. Obviously, the more people in the database, the better results. So yeah, depending on the business type that you are, we want to recommend 250 to 1,000 leads within the database. Now, when you have that database, all you essentially want to do is to extract that CSV file. So whatever CRM you're on, there's going to be an option to essentially export it as you normally would with any type of spreadsheet type of data. Then you're going to import it into GHL. Like I said at the start of the video, I personally recommend using GHL just because you can do emails, websites, landing pages, automations, workflows, you name it, you can do it within one platform. And instead of paying $300, $400, $500 for a huge tech stack, you literally need to pay $97, and then it includes absolutely everything. So that's my personal recommendation. So now once you've exported it from your database or your CRM and you've imported it into GHL, you need to make sure that you don't send database reactivation campaigns on email. They just get ignored. They're similar to spam email. No one really replies to them. No one really takes action on them because they think it's promotional stuff. We want to engage a real conversation. So what we tend to do for our partners is we focus on SMS or WhatsApp. It's super personal. Depending on the country will depend on the type of platform that you want to use. I know in most European countries, WhatsApp seems to be really well. So it just really depends on the location of your business or where you guys are situated will depend on what platform you guys essentially want to use. So from there, essentially all you need to do is to choose an angle, and this is based on the industry. And I'll show you guys what I mean. And this is why segmenting it at the beginning was super important. So you have three angles that have worked exceptionally well. These are the three that we always recommend to our partners to choose from, depending on the amount of money that they make will depend on how far they can push the boat out, essentially. So the first one is super simple. You can refer and get a discount. So every person they bring in, they can get a discount on a particular service. And this is usually best for recurring services. So if it's like Botox, if it's lip fillers, things like that, where people have to keep coming back, is going to incentivize them to add new leads into the pipeline, increasing the LTV of every customer coming in. Then you have another option, which is refer and get a free gift. This is once again very good for recurring services. So let's say, for example, you have a service that's relatively cheap to do. It might be eyelashes, it might be I don't know, lip line, I don't know what it is, right? You want to have a recurring service where you can give them a free gift. That free gift needs to be something that is very inexpensive but very easy to implement, and something that you know people are going to want to keep coming back for. That is one that has worked exceptionally well for the beauty type of industries, whether it's like an eyebrow threading or something like that. It has been an absolute killer because people start planning out, okay, cool, I want to get this done every 2 weeks, so I'm just going to bring someone new every 2 weeks. And it has been the thing that has exploded, you know, med spas, estheticians, beauty clinics, through the roof, right? So that's definitely something that you want to be very mindful of. If you know you have an inexpensive service, definitely look to implement this type of angle. And then last but not least, it's going to be the still looking. You're going to give them a discount, a refer, or a bonus. And this is more so for the contractors, the landscapers, those types of businesses. And I'll show you exactly what that actually looks like. So you're going to send your initial message. The initial message needs to be something like this. And this is why segmenting the two types of local businesses is super important, because the positioning that you're going to take is going to differ drastically as well. So let's look at it. So for contractor-based businesses, you want to say something like ABC Consulting here. Did you manage to get that new roof installed that you were looking to get done a couple of months back? So you want to say something like that, something to start the conversation, something that's going to get them to respond. And if you're a service-based business, you want to say something like ABC Beauty here. Been a while since your last Botox session, looking to get one booked soon. Super simple. We just want to start the conversation. We don't care where they fall in the pipeline. We just want to make sure that we're going to say something that is going to spark a response. Based on the response is how we then navigate going forward. Let me show you. So after we send them the initial message, you're going to want to say something like this. So let's say we're going to take the refer and get a bonus angle, right? These are all made up conversations, by the way. I just use a really cool app online, but I just wanted to showcase what it would actually look like. For example, 123 chiropractic here. Been a while since your last adjustment, looking to get one booked soon. And then someone might say, yes, been super busy, but would look to get one done whenever I have the time. So depending on their, I guess, attitude to that first message will depend on how you approach it in the second message. So if they're super happy and you could tell they're quite open to the idea of rebooking, you're essentially going to say what we said in that second message. Amazing. Well, feel free to bring a friend. Since we have a new offer, we can throw in an X percentage off for you guys. Depending on your schedule this month, we can squeeze you in. And let's say they responded negatively, you can say something like, well, if you were thinking about getting a adjustment next time, definitely bring a friend or recommend a friend. And what we do now is we're doing a percentage off of that service. So it doesn't matter if they're responding positively or negatively, or they don't want to rebook or they do want to rebook. We're handling it in a position whereby we're giving them this incentive, irrespective if they book in again. We just want them to refer someone else. So that is how we would navigate the refer and get a discount if you're selling a service-based product or whatever it may be. Then let's look at the refer and free gift. 123 chiropractic here. Been a while since your last adjustment. Looking to get one booked soon. That's the initial message. Then they're going to respond something like, yes, been super busy, but we'll look to get one whenever I have the time. Then the second message is going to be, this month we're doing free adjustments for anyone that refers a friend. When were you looking to rebook? But once again, they might not always respond positively. They might respond negatively. So what would we say? Let's start with the negative. Not an issue, just a heads up. We did have a new offer for the month or so. If you bring or recommend a friend by X time frame, by the end of the month, by the end of the quarter, whatever it may be, we can throw in a free adjustment for you. Amazing. If they don't want to rebook, once again, we don't care. We just want them to refer someone else. And let's say they did respond positively. Amazing. Well, feel free to bring a friend. Since we have a new offer, we can throw in a free adjustment for you. We're running it till around time frame. Would that work? Super simple, guys. Don't overcomplicate it. It's the thing is with database reactivation, it's really meant to be a 2-3 part message sequence. I see some people have like a 15-step email sequence. No one's coming into to rebook or anything like that. You don't need to overcomplicate it. Your initial message, then your incentive, then their response. That's it. And then lastly, we're going to be looking for you contractors out there, the discount and referral bonus type of angle. Now, this works for any type of contracting business. I don't care if you're a pool installation guy, if you're a waste management guy, if you're a tree guy, it doesn't matter. It works. So we're going to say something like ABC Business here. Did you manage to get that new roof installed? Or it can be that new pool installed, or it can be that gutter clean, or it can be that solar panel installed. It doesn't matter. It works. It's universal. You were looking to get done a couple months back. Someone might say, no, some of the quotes we received are too expensive, but hopefully in the near future. So you can say something like this. Let's say that they do, respond positively. We're doing some work in the area. If it's something you would ideally want done, we can send someone out to give you a free quote this week if it was still on the priority list. Super simple. Question mark, because we want them to respond. And if they didn't respond positively, or they've already got the roof done or whatever it is that you guys basically sell, you could say something like this. Amazing. Well, if you know anyone that needs something similar, we're happy to send you a percentage of that job as a referral bonus. All we need to know is that you sent them. Super simple. Everyone knows everyone. Business owners know business owners. Athletes know athletes. Prime ministers know prime ministers, right? So they know people that need the service done. Now, if you wanted to take a different angle, and let's say that they do respond positively, we can say something like, we're doing some work in the area already. We have some rapport. Let me throw in a little discount, blah, blah, blah. You already know that one. But let's say that they responded negatively. You can say, we're doing some work in this area this month. Since we already have some rapport, if you know anyone that needs this service, we're happy to do a complimentary, gutter clean, solar panel clean, whatever it may be, for you as a thank you. So for some people, what we've realized with some of our partners, they don't want to give a percentage to the referee, and that's absolutely fine. What they tend to do is a free or complimentary service instead. This system that you guys are seeing here, it's super simple, but I cannot stress it enough the way that so many people get it wrong. You guys need to understand these 5 components when you're doing the initial message. And this is where most people fail at before they even get going. You always want to ask a question. You need to start that conversation, not as a promotion, but more so as a as a conversation. You want to get them to respond. You want to engage in that conversation, see where they are in that sales pipeline, and then take it from there. Number two, you want to keep it short. I see people write these tedious long messages like, hey, we've been doing this over the last couple of weeks and da 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 da. Here's this discount, here's this, plug it in here. No one cares. Short, sweet, and snappy. We want to give a humanistic approach. Number three, don't show your whole hand. As soon as you approach them and say, hey, we're going to give you 30% off, you've ruined it already. We want to see if they can come in and rebook as an individual before we give them the incentive to bring someone else in. We're not trying to lose you guys money. We're trying to make you guys the most amount of money. So if they're going to refer someone else for free, perfect. Why are we then going to incentivize them to get 30% off if they're prepared to come in without the 30% off? Don't show your whole hand. Number four, segment the audience. What you need to understand is someone who hasn't purchased versus someone who has cannot receive the same message. Someone that's already purchased 9 times out of 10 already knows the quality of your service. So the focus for you guys is to get them to bring more people versus someone who hasn't purchased from you. The focus is to get them into the business. So depending on where they are in the sales funnel, depending on where they are in that CRM, will depend on how you structure that re-engagement campaign. Don't send the entire message to the same people. Try to segment the audience and then base the script off of where they are in that funnel. And then last but not least, infinite upside, zero downside. You want to make sure that what your incentive is giving them an infinite upside and a zero downside. There should be no difficulty in them referring someone else. It should be like, wow, if I refer someone, I'm getting all these bonuses. That's a no-brainer. And if you guys can get those 5 things done in your initial message, it will be absolutely impossible for you not to add 100K every 6 months back into your pipeline just from these re-engagement campaigns. Every quarter we launch them for our partners, and it has been the biggest money maker, the easiest amount of money. And every 3 months, they're just having the biggest revenue months simply because we're segmenting, keeping it short, asking a question where we're making it infinite upside and zero downside, and we're not showing our hands. So guys, that is essentially the process that we implement for our clientele when it comes to database re-engagement. Like I said, I recommend doing this strictly on GHL. Feel free to test out these scripts. Feel free to use these scripts. We are planning to show you a full walkthrough at some point as well. But hopefully you guys found value from the video. And if you did want any other specific types of videos, feel free to like, comment down below, let me know. And I'm more than happy to create those and show you guys those as well.